So let's start with the first demo of today and start with the assessment of Azure Migrate. So as I said earlier, if you go to Azure Migrate in the portal, you will see the VDI option. So if you click on the VDI option, you will get the question, okay, do you want to add tools, and which tools do you want to use? So as part of the assessments tools, you see the Lakeside SysTrack solution. So that's the solution we're going to use for this demo. So that's the which I showed earlier, the assessment tool, which we need to install the agent of and gather all the information inside your VDI infrastructure or RDS infrastructure to eventually make visible inside Azure. So we after that, we're going to use the Azure Migrate server migration tool, which can lift and shift your images as well as your infrastructure services to Azure. And after that, we can do test migrations, etc. So let's add first the Lakeside assessment tool to our Azure Migrate project. So when we are done with that, we can shift to the Lakeside solution. So we click on Register with Azure Migrate, and we click on Log On. And in the console, we log on and we get all the proper agents that we need to install on top of our existing VDI infrastructure environment to do the assessment. So you download the agent and you install the agent on top of your virtual desktops. Like this could be a Windows 10 single session or Windows Server environment. You just run the agent installation, and then afterwards, all the information like CPU, RAM, configuration sets will be injected inside the Azure Migrate console. So we can do the after that that collection is finished of gathering all the information, we can see the configuration and the usage of your existing VDI infrastructure environment. So you can see which kind of desktops you're using or which kinds of like server operating systems you are using. What is the utilization? What is the role? What is the template? Is it like a knowledge worker or power user? And you can see what the vast majority is using in terms of CPU, RAM, IOPS, and networking insights. So with that information, you can see, okay, what do I need then in Azure to get the same kind of like user experience inside Azure while using Windows Virtual Desktop. So all kinds of great insights that you can see here that eventually will move inside the Azure portal. So all those insights will go as well from the Lakeside portal that I just showed to you, as well directly inside the Azure portal. So if you click on your discovered users inside the Azure portal in Azure Migrate, you will see all the information here as well. See what kind of applications or how many applications are being used, if it is using a multi-user operating system, what eventually the target Azure virtual machine size, this queue is. So what Lakeside will suggest to use in Azure, all kinds of good information that you can find here that you can eventually use to do your proper designing proactively to provide the same user experience as part of Windows Virtual Desktop. So what we then can do, if you succeed with all your investigation and you get all the proper information, you have, okay, this will be my SKU, my size in Azure. You can start with the server migration. So as you can see on the screen, you see the assessment tool. That's something we just finished. So now we can move to the server migration part of it. So you start now with like the real lift and shift procedure of migrating your images as well as your infrastructure environment to Microsoft Azure. So you click on Discover, and if you discover, you have the option to connect to either a VMware, vSphere hypervisor environment, Hyper-V, or a physical like environment. So you can pick what fits best in your needs. So I will pick for Hyper-V in this demo. So as part of Hyper-V, you need to download the software and connect to your on-premises Hyper-V environment, and then it starts replicating your machines if you select which you want to use. So as part of the selection, it starts to pre-sync your virtual desktops or your infrastructure services, and when that is done, it will show a healthy state. And after you're done with that synchronization of your virtual machines to Azure, you can start with the migration. You could do a test migration as well, so you can test like the setup. You can do it in a separate VNet, or you can do like just directly the migration, and then it will migrate the virtual machines directly inside your Azure Virtual Machines option and inside that menu. So you will see the virtual machines that will show up as you know them from on-prem as well in your Azure subscription.